Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Jasura Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Jasura Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Yamunatira Vanachariya Yamunatira Vanachariya Oh Naja Yamunatira Vanachariya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Jasura Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasura Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasura Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachariya Jamuna Tira Vanachariya Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Sri Radha Madhava ki Sri Radha Giridhari ki srimadbhagavatam ki Go Premanandi Jayo Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajik Jaja Shodhara Shishi Maharaj Dvankai Sabai Charanara Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Bhubari ki Jai Jayo Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajik Jaja Shodhara Shishi Maharaj Dvankai Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosa Maharaj Bhubari ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Sam Veda ki Jai Gaura Premanandi, all glories of the assembled devotees, all glories, Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Where's Jamal? Zach went to do, maybe get Geewigs together. Okay, this morning we're reading from the Srimadbhagavatam, 4th canto, 9th chapter, starting with text 46, and we'll read 47 and the purport thereof. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiyarayat. Little Jalaram here, is that what you call it, Balaram? Jalaram, like that bag there, happiness and water. Is that what that means? Jalaram?
Could be.
Happy water? Happy waters or something? There's a bag back there from India. It says Jalaram. So, be a darn good class. Surichistam samuttapya padavanantam arbakam parisvajyaha jiveti bashpa gadgadaya gira surichistam samuttapya Padavanantam arbakam parisvajyaha jiveti bashpa gadgadaya gira suruchistam samuttapya padavanantam arbakam parisvajyaha jiveti Bashpa Gadgada Gira. Please chant.
Suruchistam samudbhavya Ādāvanatamarvakam Parasvajyaha jiveti Bāspakam gadaya
Surichistam samuttapya Bashpa Gadgada Gira. Word for word. Surichihi. Queen Surichi. Tam. Him. Samuttapya. Having picked up. Pada avanatam. Fallen at her feet. I only hear one voice and there's 4 of you in there. Come on, Prabhus. Arbakam, the innocent boy. Parishvajya, embracing. Aha, she said. Jiva, may you live long. Iti, thus. Bashpa, with tears. Gadgadaya, choked up. Gira, with words. Translation, Surichi, the younger mother of Dhruva Maharaj, seeing that the innocent boy had fallen at her feet, immediately picked him up, embracing him with her hands, and with tears of feeling she blessed him with the words, "My dear boy, long may you live." Text 47. Yasya prasano bhagavan gunar maityadibir harihi tasmai namanti bhutani nimnam apa eva swayam. Translation, unto one who has transcendental qualities due to friendly behavior with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities offer honor just as water automatically flows down by nature. Please repeat. Unto one who has transcendental qualities due to friendly behavior with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities offer honor, just as water automatically flows down by nature. Purport. The question may be raised in this connection, why Surichi, who was not at all favorably disposed towards Dhruva, blessed him, "Long may you live," which means that she also desired good fortune for him. The answer is given in this verse, since Dhruva Maharaj was blessed by the Lord due to his transcendental qualities, everyone was bound to offer him all respects and benediction, just as water by its nature flows downward. A devotee of the Lord does not demand respect from anyone, but wherever he goes, he is honored by everyone throughout the whole world with all respect. Srinivasacharya said that the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are respected throughout the entire universe because a devotee, having pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all emanations, automatically pleases everyone, and thus everyone offers him respect. Om Agyan Timarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksul Unminitam Dinataismai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Banchika Badru Vasya Kripa Sindhu Bevaja Patidanam Bhavani Bhyo Vaishnavi Namo Namaha. So if you kindly say, if you mercifully say a few kind words to Krishna on my behalf, maybe I can say something. Damodar? Thank you. I bank on your benedictions, Damodar. Okay. Unto one who has transcendental qualities due to friendly behavior with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities offer honor just as water automatically flows down by nature. So the main point of this purport will be who's honorable and, who do we offer honor to and why do we offer honor to such personalities. And one thing here in the beginning, he talks about Surichi. Says she was not at all favorably disposed towards Dhruva. Now my question is, I didn't back up some verses in previous chapters, but did she have a change of heart already when didn't mention that, because all of a sudden, because of her words, the boy had left, and I think, she wasn't expecting the boy to run away and just disappear, and then havoc in the palace, and the king is beside himself, and he probably had a few choice words for her in the chastisement room, right? They had all these different chambers in the palace, the bereavement room, and different rooms, right? Sulking, and so he just didn't do it in public, so there probably was a chastising room like that. So, but she had a change of heart, and of course it's described here in this verse that an explanation is given that whatever was in her heart, when she saw Dhruva Maharaj, he had changed, and that was brought up in the previous verse, just a few verses ago, that when his father the king met him, he could see he had changed. He had become a self-realized soul. There's quite a difference between a 5-year-old boy who's not self-realized and a 5-year-old boy who is self-realized. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, what does Arjuna ask Krishna? There's 2 different places where Arjuna asks Krishna, can you tell me, how do I know a transcendentalist? What are his symptoms? How does he talk and walk and act? And they're different. There's got to be a difference, otherwise what's the point? Just like we're all here trying to make a change in our lives and in the world. If there was no change, why were we doing this? There's no reason to bother all this botheration if there's not going to be a change. And we know there is a change, and that's actually part of the purport here, that when you see a devotee of the Lord, you see that that's wonderful qualities, amazing qualities. I would like to have those qualities also. So that's a sign of a pious person. They're immediately attracted to the qualities of devotees. Let's read about those qualities right now. This is from the chapter 12 of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It's a chapter entitled The Devotee. And Prabhupada kind of, I guess you could say, paraphrases the 26 qualities of a devotee, which you can see are very, very attractive. So it says here, beginning of the chapter. As mentioned above, a person in Krishna consciousness, being fully devoted to the transcendental loving service of the Lord, develops all the godly qualities of the demigods. So that's being brought out here in the purport also, that having pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all emanations, one automatically pleases everyone, one becomes very, very pleasing. And it says here, due to friendly behavior with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, that's a devotee. A devotee has a friendly behavior towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are many such qualities, but Lord Chaitanya described only some of them to Sanatana Goswami. Here it is. A devotee of the Lord is always kind to everyone. He does not pick quarrels. Do you ever see devotees pick quarrels? Rarely. Because like that is not... It just happens. His interest is in the essence of life, which is spiritual. He is equal to everyone. No one can find fault in him. His magnanimous mind is always fresh and clean. He is without material possessions. He is a benefactor to all living entities and is peaceful and always surrendered to Krishna. He has no material desires. He is very humble and fixed in his purpose. He is victorious over the 6 material qualities, such as lust and anger, and he does not eat more than he needs. He is always sane. That's a good quality. And is respectful to others, but he does not require respect for himself. He is grave, merciful, friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. So these are all wonderful qualities, which are all very, very attractive. And these automatically develop in the devotee of the Lord. Why is that? Because those are our natural qualities. We're not going to school to learn all these different things, just like there's etiquette school. You know that? There's actually school you can go to learn how to behave properly. I know they have it for dogs, so they must have it for humans too, you think, right? How to speak properly. Just like we had when I was in Bhaktivedanta Village, in the last yuga. I was the president there for a while. So I was sent there to be a teacher, and then he switched me within 1 week to be the president. The president was leaving. But the devotee in charge of the Gurukula, his name was Naimi, or Naimisharanya. He wrote the book, that Life of Ramanujacharya, we have, the biography. He's from England, and he told us that when he grew up in school, they had elocution school, how to pronounce properly, how to talk properly, you have etiquette and all these different things. So. Yeah, Dr. Devori told me once that you only teach Sanskrit to people who are vegetarians because meat eaters can't pronounce properly. They cannot pronounce it. So that would be one thing that the guru would he would not take on a student who wasn't a vegetarian, because there's no use, because what we eat actually affects our ability to talk and our vocabulary and our intonations and everything. So you can't pronounce Sanskrit properly if you're a meat eater. So that's confirmed right there, Malecha, like that. So where do we go off on all these kind of tangents? All attractive qualities, and they're automatically there. What is that? Krishna Bhakti. What is that? Nityasiddha Krishna Prem Sabukhabunai. So the Krishna prem, devotional, the Krishna consciousness is there in the heart, but it's brought out by the process. It's not that you can go, there's that verse in the Bhagavatam that devotee has all good qualities, but a mundane person, it may appear they have good qualities, but because they're on the mental platform, they're not really that, what it means, they're not really that deep. You'll find people who are kind and merciful and this, that, but their mercy is limited. Right? Save the whales, but where do you go for lunch? And, their kindness, sometimes it's only one species or color of skin or this or that, or it's not very deep. And also, the good qualities of a great devotee, they're never disturbed. He never loses them, whereas sometimes a materialist has good qualities and all of a sudden something goes wrong. And all those good qualities evaporate very, very quickly when one is angry or upset or in a difficult situation or whatever. So they're not that deep, that's the point. They're not that very, very deep. Because these are the natural qualities of the soul, and when that actually comes out, that's just who we are. It's not going to change. Just like I may act in a particular way for a particular purpose. It's not really my nature to be so kind or this or that, but I may flatter you because I want something or whatever. It's not my real quality. And as soon as I get what I want, I stop being nice to you. You ever experienced something like that? Sure. Someone's really nice to you, they want something, right? Because they want something. Just like when we do the wedding ceremony, at a certain part of the ceremony, the bride moves and sits on the left side of the groom. You see, in the etiquette in Indian society is the wife's always on the husband's left. Do you know that? And one of the reasons given, it says in the Ayurveda, is that the left side of the man is his more sensitive side. So the wife knows which side to come from when she wants something, because there's more chances of getting it. Did you know that? You're also closer to his heart. But that's one of the reasons given. So you want something, like that. You say whatever you want to get it. Did you see it? Radharani's on the left. There. That's just proper etiquette. So, now, Surichi automatically was attracted to the divine qualities of Dhruva Maharaj. He had changed. Completely changed. In her mind, therefore her mind changed. So, this is the symptom of great devotees, that in their presence one's mind changes. Like that. So as far as what makes a person great, that's one thing I will discuss. It says of Sudras, what makes a Sudra great? No, he had it kind of right. Age in the sense of how long you've been doing something. You're a great Sudra, or qualified Sudra, how long you've been doing something. So how long have you been working at this particular job? You're very skilled because you've been doing it for a long time. Okay, Sudra. Then you have your Vaishya. What makes a Vaishya great? Wealth. He's a good, Prabhupada said, are you intelligent? What do you got in your pocket? Right? If you got money in there, you're intelligent. So a Vaishya is measured by their wealth. I'm a businessman, but I'm broke. Well, guess what? I don't know if I'm going to work with you or for you. You're always broke. So what kind of businessman are you? And then a Kshatriya, your influence. Kshatriya, you may be a little king, but a big king means you have influence. You know how to influence people and get what you want. Diplomacy, politics, power. Your influence. You're a powerful person. Powerful people mean they have a lot of influence. Oh, you need a problem. Okay, I know who to call. Need problem? You need some help with your taxes? I know exactly who to call. You need help with this? So, like that. Anyways. And then the Brahmin, what makes a Brahmin great? Knowledge. Okay. And then you could say what makes a Vaishnav great is character. That's what really is the final thing, is one's character. It's not so much learning, the character. And that character is described as one of the qualities that always surrender to Krishna. Of all the different 26 qualities of devotee, it's brought up again and again whenever devotees are glorified in their qualities. The number one quality is surrender to Krishna. Sharanagati is one surrender to Krishna. That's the greatest quality. And all the other qualities will follow in due course of time if one surrenders to Krishna. And amongst devotees, it says by associating with them, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I've heard this before a few times, but I'm can be corrected on this. There's different levels of devotees. You have the Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and the Uttama Adhikari, the Paramahamsa. Now, by associating with Kanishta Adhikaris, one develops Shraddha, or faith. One has some faith. Wow, this is far out. This is nice, let's do this. By associating with Madhyama Adhikaris, I think it's Nishta, isn't it? One becomes very strongly determined and steady in their devotional service. And by associating with Uttama Adhikari, one can actually experience bhava, ecstasy in Krishna consciousness, just by association. Just by association. So Dhruva Maharaj, he was on the topmost platform of Krishna consciousness. You can imagine he's coming, and then just by his association, everyone's feeling quite ecstatic and automatically offering all respects, even though he's a little boy. He's a little boy and feeling great ecstasy. Now, of course, there's different relationships and so on. So here's one of his mothers picking him up. What is she supposed to do? Of course, give a blessing. If you're a senior in the social, at least in the social system, you give blessings. You give a blessing. If you're older than someone, you give a blessing. Like that. If you're on an equal level, then there's maybe an embrace. And if you're younger, you accept, benedictions and so on. So because she was mother, she gives a benediction. Right? Jiveti. May you live a very long life. May you be blessed a very, very long life. So, 23. I guess we're not going to have time for that. So in the purport, Prabhupada refers to this song by Srinivasacharya called the Shushi Shad Goswami Astakam. Prabhupada was very, very fond of this and instructed many, many different devotees, if not all devotees, to study it. Because, especially for sannyasis, Prabhupada would say they study this very carefully. What does it actually mean to be a devotee, advanced devotee, to be renounced? These are what it means to be a Goswami. What it means to be a Goswami. And these are our acharyas, so what was their life like? It's brought out in these 8 verses. Now Prabhupada is referring to this Dhira Dhira Janapriyo Priyakaro. I'm just trying to see here. And then also this Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakaro. I think that's actually what Prabhupada is referring to in the second verse. So, with this first one, these are the 2 verses, is Dhira Dhira Janapriyo. Because they were dear, are popular both with the gentle and the ruffians, because they're not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they're all pleasing to everyone. Whatever they're all pleasing to everyone. This is Kripa Baro, Bhuvi Bhuvo, the whole world. They're just very, very pleasing to everyone. And this, in the Nana Shastra verse, it says, because of what they're doing, establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings, thus they're honored all over the 3 worlds, and they're worth taking shelter of. So these are the symptoms of the devotees of the Lord. That it says here, because a devotee, having pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all emanations, automatically pleases everyone, and thus everyone offers him respect. So, there's talk about, world peace. Sometimes on bumper stickers it's world peace. You know that world peace? You seen that bumper sticker? Seen that bumper sticker? World peas. Like, so, world peace. See? You get it. Yeah, they have like a little blender there or something like that. Anyways, world peace. But you can see it cannot be attained unless it's described here, unless people are in complete harmony with the absolute truth, with the ultimate reality. There's a reality in Sanskrit is known as the Dharma. The Dharma means, one understanding of Dharma means the reality that's out there. And Ritam means the math behind it, or all the reasons behind it. So there's Dharma and Ritam. So, as devotees, as transcendentalists, our understanding of reality is that there's Krishna's there and he's moving everything. And if you're in harmony with Krishna and the laws of nature, you can call that the Dharma also, then everything flows very, very smoothly. And if you're not, then there's conflict and there's confusion, conflict, all kinds of things go wrong because you're moving against the current. It's like here it says about water automatically flows down. If you try to push water up a hill, how successful will you be? That's quite difficult because it flows down. So it says here that ultimately the devotee is the most pleasing person in the world because he's in complete harmony with Krishna. And who is this Krishna? Krishna is the well-wisher of all living entities. Surhidam sarvabhutanam. So I'm a representative of that person who is your well-wisher, and I am also your well-wisher. So isn't such a person most welcome in one's life? Like that. Otherwise, in the material world, because of envy and competition, all living entities are pretty much envious of each other, and they're always thinking, what can I get from this person? What can I get from that person? Just like Prahlad Maharaj, he didn't like going to school because he said, in school they're trying to teach me friends and enemies, to make that discrimination between friends and enemies. He said, as far as I'm concerned, everyone's my friend, everyone's a devotee of Krishna. He didn't like the idea of having to think, oh, is this guy really my enemy? You know, have to watch out for this person, all the political intrigue and so on. He didn't like that. He just wanted to see everyone as a devotee of Krishna. So these are the pleasing qualities of devotees which are described here. And therefore they become all attractive. Devotees become all attractive. So everyone was so attracted to Prabhupada. Then asked one's Prabhupada, the one's voice of Prabhupada, Prabhupada, why does everyone love you? Prabhupada's answer was, because I love everyone. And that was a genuine point. He actually had affection for all living entities, and that comes out. You know, on a very mundane level, it says just like when you interact with people, you know what you should do? Smile. Immediately people think, oh, that's nice. If you smile, it means you have good intent. If you frown at them when you're talking to them, like that, smile. You're happy you're with another jiva, another living entity, another devotee. They may be a diamond in the rough, but you're very, very happy. Devotees are very, very happy to preach because they see everyone as another devotee. Like that. You know, just like there's a saying, a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. You know that one? Well, actually, a stranger is another devotee. There's not a stranger there. Everyone's a devotee. So it has that vision. That's very, very attractive. Devotees are very, very attractive because they have that. They're in proportion to our relationship with Krishna and our Krishna consciousness, we become very, very attractive. Very, very attractive. Of course, one has to be careful about that. One has to be very, very pure. Like that. Don't take advantage of the fact that people are offering you all respects. As the point is made here, that the devotee, even though he's offered all respects, he doesn't want any respect. Of course, one very good example that will end was Madhavinda Puri. Right? Madhavinda Puri was famous, and his fame followed him, even though he didn't want it. Right? When he was there getting the, Chiyochor Gopinath, and the Pujari came and found him and said, Gopinath has saved you this kheer. And he was there in the marketplace, and of course the devotee was in ecstasy that such a Paramahamsa had visited the temple and that the deity had saved some Mahaprasadam. Imagine that happened here. I imagine that Janardhan's watching this, but can you imagine if Radha saved some samosas for Janardhan? And then told Balaram, the Pujari, there's some samosas behind my dress. Go give these to Janardhan. And I said, wow, Giridhari saved some samosas for Janardhan. What an exalted devotee. But anyways, the point is that what did Madhavinda Puri do? He said, hey. No, he said, I'm getting out of here. Because in the morning, when everyone wakes up, the news is going to spread like wildfire through this town, and people are going to offer me all my respects. I don't want any respect. Like that. And he immediately left to Puri. But it says, even though he left to Puri, the fame followed him. Like that. So he's very, 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 very attractive. The fame follows the devotees, but they don't want any honor at all. Because they always feel themselves to be a humble servant of the Lord, insignificant. Whatever good qualities they have is by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So that's how a devotee feels, like that. So it's 8:31. We can end here. I'll try to keep to the schedule. Are there any questions or comments or discussions on this? Good essential point in Krishna consciousness. One of the qualities are silence, so I guess that's you're all manifesting one of the 26 qualities of devotee is silence. So I guess you're all. You can plead the 26th silent, like that. Okay. Let me read the verse. Oh yes, the question you're just scratching.
It's loud, huh? Ooh. So about the desire for like respect, because on some level, I mean, practically everybody, they want some affection, they want some acknowledgement, and you could say on some level, yeah, people want respect. So maybe you could just talk a little bit more on that idea, because some people say, oh, well, you don't want any respect for yourself, But practically speaking, like I just said, everybody wants some acknowledgement, some appreciation, some general respect. So yeah, and also maybe you could just talk about it's kind of like the evil nature of, wanting respect for oneself in a you could say mundane way, in a non-Krishna conscious way. Like I remember Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he writes in his book Vaishnav K, which is quite a book, and Jayapataka Swami translated that book. But there's some Bengali verse. It said something like, I'm forgetting the Bengali, but it's like Pratishta Sukadera Bishta, something like that. Said that the desire for honor and fame is like the stool of a hog, So, but still, we do have some of that general, desires. But maybe you could just kind of like balance it out. And also the need for, because respect is also there, like Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically accepted sannyas so people would respect him. And I remember, talking with one sannyasi, and he was saying, yeah, I don't really care for myself. People offer me obeisances, this and that, but they're offering obeisances with the principle of appreciating and acknowledging the importance of renunciation. And that the renounced people, the most renounced people, who are, supposed to be the sannyasis, and who are the sannyasis, they should be offered respect, because it's, they're giving up. So maybe just, I don't know.
So you just gave a whole class there, Prabhu. Okay. Well, one thing is that you're saying it's very common that people want some respect, acknowledgement, appreciation, and so on. That's natural. That is. And but the point is actually that the very, very advanced devotee doesn't need it. Because, again, advanced devotee is feeling, not just feeling, but has realized that one thing, he's completely happy in his Krishna consciousness. Doesn't need his ego boosted or this or that or whatever. And whatever good qualities he has, he sees them all as gifts of his spiritual master in Krishna. So when someone offers him respect, he passes it on. He doesn't feel it's for him. He just passes it on to his spiritual master in Krishna. He just as it's our feeling to offer respect to someone who's honorable and respectful, it's those devotees' feeling to just pass it on. Just pass it on. They don't want it. They don't feel it's. They're feeling very, very, very humble. Otherwise, how could Krishnadas Kaviraj Maharaj say that he felt himself lower than the stool and worm, the worm and stool? Right? Srila Maharaj says, lower than the stool of a worm who's a worm and stool. That's really low. Right? You keep going, how many times you want to go? Srila Maharaj, he said, Prabhu, I'm lower than the stool of a worm who's a stool. It's like, because worms have to pass stool also. So it's like, how low do you want to go? But the point is, I actually felt that way, that I'm insignificant. And just like they say about humility is thinking, you're not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. Now, there's that saying too. So, because the devotee is completely self-satisfied and happy, and so overwhelmed by the wonderful qualities of other devotees, of their guru and Krishna, that they're not really thinking about themselves. Oh, I have this good quality, I have that good quality. They're just so intoxicated by Krishna's wonderful qualities, or the qualities of their spiritual master. That's their happiness. Whereas in the material world, we hang on to everything we got. I got a good side, I got a bad side, I got this, I got that, I got money, I got my looks, I got my friends, I got, all this stuff around us, all these fallible soldiers that bolster our false ego, and we're very, very proud of. We want people to notice them. Why do people drive in fancy cars? To be noticed, right? To be noticed. Why do they dress in fancy clothes? Why they have big, big homes and all this kind of stuff? It's because they want to be noticed, like that. This gentleman the other day, when I was doing the ceremony, he told me he knew Srimati Myoraji's family, and they were freedom fighters. So there's a famous picture with Srimati Myoraji as a little girl right next to Mahatma Gandhi on this big gathering at the beach and so on. And he was talking about the good qualities of that family, that they were very, very pious and gave so much money for religious things and so on and so on. And he started talking about the Birla family. He said, the Birla family? And apparently the senior Birla person, he only had 3 outfits, 3 sets of clothes. They were a humble guy, but tons of money. And he said whenever he built a factory, he first built the temple, then built his residence, and then built the factory. But always the temple came first. Always the temple for everyone. So, but he said he was known to only have each time in his life just 3 sets of clothes. Because how many clothes can you wear? So he just wasn't into all that kind of stuff. He's just kind of a humble guy. So now that's how a devotee feels. But we should always offer respect and appreciation. That's our position. You always offer respect and appreciation to other devotees. You can glorify them. You can serve them. It shouldn't be, what's the word? What's that word for, like, empty praise? Just, well, you know what I'm saying? Just hollow, empty praise, flattery. There's a section in the fourth Prithu Maharaj. When Prithu appeared, the sages were offering so many glorification about all these things he'll do. Then after he said, I haven't done anything yet. So to flatter someone for some quality they don't have or haven't manifested, he said, actually, it's an insult. It's an insult. So you don't want to flatter anyone. Oh, Prabhu, your lotus feet, you're this, you're that, Guru Maharaj, avatar. You have to be a little careful. It's like, otherwise it becomes cheap. Jagat Guru. Otherwise it becomes very, very cheap. That becomes very, very cheap. But there's always, it's just like I said, the etiquette is there. In the presence of one's spiritual master, one should always glorify the spiritual master. That's etiquette. So when you're ever in the presence of a superior person, you should always offer respect. You can always some appreciation. That's proper etiquette. But it doesn't have to be over the top. What's it called? Hyperbole? Over the top. It's just like, when you walk into the room, it's like the sun has entered and, I feel all my sins flying away and Hare Krishna and all that kind of stuff. So be careful. Like that. Yes, do something useful. He said, do something practical. Well, there's a devotee, Vishal, a wonderful devotee in Vrindavan. In the early days, Prabhu would come out with morning walk. He'd always be there, offering all these prayers of the Guru and the Prabhupada and glorifying Prabhupada. And there's one time that specifically, it might happen more than once, there was this water there because they weren't squeegeeing outside the temple. And Prabhupada noticed the water and turned to him and said, why don't you do something practical? So just stand there glorifying me. So he accepted that. Just do something practical. So, yeah. Yeah. He was just very. Yeah. He's a wonderful devotee, wonderful Sankirtan devotee. Like that, but does that answer your question? Like that. But this pratishta, over and over again, I guess Srila Bhaktisiddhanta calls it the stool of a pig. The pratishta, the desire for honor and prestige, is a huge weed in the heart, big one. Even when other ones can go away, sinful activity. But, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, desire. You have to be very, very careful like that, because even in spiritual circles, and one wants to be not a big materialist but a big devotee. So one has to be careful about that. Why is one advancing Krishna consciousness? I want to be known as a very, very big devotee. Like that, one has to be careful. It should never be the reason we're performing our devotional service. Oh, I want to be known as a big devotee. Like that. You can be sure Dhruva Maharaj is thinking, I'm gonna nix this in 6 months and get back, and everyone's gonna say, wow, you became Krishna conscious in 6 months? Wow, Hare Krishna Prabhu, wow, you're very advanced. No, he wasn't thinking like that at all. So anything else? And so we can end here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Dhruva Maharaj ki jai.